What up, y'all? This is Blake with 206 Fab, and this is my 50,000 watt Chinese piss missile. So what actually is this bike? So this is a 2023 SurRon Ultra B, and we've done everything to it, from powder coat, full drivetrain upgrade, wheels. The only thing really stock on this is the frame, for one. The rear suspension and front suspension is pretty much the only thing that is stock on this bike. So starting off, the biggest upgrade to this bike is powertrain. Battery, motor, controller. What we went with on this bike was eWatt for the battery. We went with the 80.5 volt, 76 amp power. That was one of their only options when I was purchasing batteries for this bike. For controller, we went with the TC1000 from Torp. Really, in my opinion, the best controller for this bike. It keeps all your stock functionality in your screen. It works amazing with the stock motor, stock battery, and also pushes crazy power numbers when you upgrade battery and motor. And staying along with Torp, we also went with their TM50 Pro. And I was lucky enough to work with Adam from Darwin EV and with Torp to test out their TM50 Pro for a little bit. So I'd like to thank Torp, and I would like to thank Adam. Anything Torp related, eWatt related, anything SurRon related upgrades you want, check out Adam at Darwin EV. Best place to get them, always has stuff in stock. The next big thing we did to this bike was we changed out the wheel set. Stock, it comes with a 19 front, 19 rear. Great for a stock bike, but terrible for off-road and terrible for the street. So what we went with is the street setup. We went with 17-inch Supermoto wheels. We're running a 2.5 in the front, 3.5 in the rear, and the brand we went with was Flow wheels. Only reason is they were having a super good sale. Next up on the bike, we went with lighting. This bike needs some lighting, and we're still working on the lighting as of right now. But for the front headlight, the stock one was horrible. It really did not put out a lot of light at all. It did have a high and low beam, which is amazing, which I sacrificed when I upgraded to this light. But we went with the Baja Designs Squadron Pro, and we went with the amber calibration in that, and we've got it tied just directly into our factory switch. I do a lot of wheelies, and I do them at night mainly, so we had to go with a wheelie light, and that provides your light. Once your bike is up like this, it provides the light forward. And we're just running just a basic Amazon light down there, and we have it tied into the factory switch. And for both of those lights, I designed custom 3D printed mounts for them to save me a little bit of money. Next big thing we did on this bike is powder coat. This was one of the biggest changes to the bike, and it makes your bike way more custom, just makes you stand out in the crowd. So we went with prismatic powders for the color option. The actual color code is called Crest Gray, and it is the closest you can get to Nardo Gray, one of my favorite colors. So we tore the entire bike down. Every bolt, nut, bearing, everything has to come out of this frame. So we tore the entire bike down, dropped it off, got this powder coated, and it turned out absolutely amazing. I am super happy with how it turned out. Ties in all the plastics, really worked good. Next thing we did was brakes. Not much needed in the upgrade department for brakes on this bike. I did put different floating rotors on just to dissipate heat as much as possible, and we did add a foot brake. I went with the dual caliber bracket. That way I don't have to sacrifice giving up my hand brake for a foot brake. I can have both, and that really helps in the stunting department and all of that. Also from Warp 9, we went with their axle sliders, and this gives you the ability to save your frame, save your wheels from scratches if you ever go down. Some of this custom stuff we did on this bike was a 12 bar. So this was built in-house by me. I designed up the bracket. This bolts right into your factory subframe here, and it just comes out, and it really added a whole nother dimension to this bike where you're able to stand on the bar, scrape the bar, use it to pop up at higher speeds where you can shift all your weight backwards, which helps a lot. Also, we added just some of the little smaller stuff that we went with is thrill seeker seat, just needed something a little bit more grippy. We went with bars, riser bars. We also added a 550-pound spring. That helps so the wheel does not hit the 12 bar, so it just stiffens everything up a little bit. Other than that, this is everything I did to the SurRon Ultra B to make it an absolute weapon on the street. 50 kilowatts, crazy amounts of high speed, which we'll be testing soon. Make sure to subscribe for that. But yeah, I love it. Best bike I've ever built, best bike I've ever ridden as of right now. I have an FZ07, I have a CRF. This one's still my favorite. It is currently snowing in Seattle, so we can't really take it out today, but I'll post in some riding clips. And if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, leave them down in the comment section and I will be sure to get back to you.